I can start then. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurulmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhatam He Krishna Karunastu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gupe Shagopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Pitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. Please accept our obeisances on behalf of everybody who has joined the group and are about to join. Prabhuji, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 1, Chapter 19, and the text for today is text 24. Prabhuji, I hand over to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Mishtapadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisheshunadi Pashyata Deshtarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, devotees, for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words about this verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 19, verse for the day is 24. Tatascha vaprityam imam vipricche vishrubhya vipra iti krityatayam sarvatmanam riyammanascha krityam shuddham cha tatram rishatabhi yukta. Tata, as such, cha, and va, unto you,
One to you,
prichyam, that which is to be asked,
that which is to be asked,
imam, this, vipriche, beg to ask you, vishrubhya, trustworthy, vipra, brahmanas, iti, thus, krityatayam, out of all different duties, sarvadharma, by everyone, sarva atmana, by everyone,
Sarva Atmana, by everyone.
Mriyamanai, especially those who are just about to die.
Mriyamanai, especially those who are just about to die.
Cha and
Cha and
Krityam, dutiful.
Krityam, dutiful.
Shuddham, perfectly correct.
Shuddham, perfectly correct.
Cha and
And
Tatra, therein.
Tatra, therein.
Amrisata,
Amritsata,
by complete deliberation.
by complete deliberation.
Abhiyukta, just befitting.
Abhiyukta, just befitting.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and especially of those who are about to die, just about to die. Purport: in this verse, the king has placed two questions before the learned sages. The first question is, what is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? And the second question is, what is the specific duty of one who is to die very shortly? Out of the two, the question relating to the dying man is most important because everyone is a dying man, either very shortly or after 100 years. The duration of life is immaterial, but the duty of a dying man is very important. Maharaja Parikshit placed these two questions before Shukadeva Goswami also on his arrival, and practically the whole of the Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning from the second canto up to the last, the 12th canto, deals with these two questions. The conclusion arrived at thereof is that devotional service of the Lord Sri Krishna, as it is confirmed by the Lord himself in the last phases of the Bhagavad Gita, is the last word in relation to everyone's permanent duty in life. Maharaja Parikshit was already aware of this fact, but he wanted the great sages assembled there to unanimously give their verdict on his conviction so that he might be able to go on with his confirmed duty without controversy. He has especially mentioned the word Shuddha, or perfectly correct. For transcendental realization or self-realization, many processes are recommended by various classes of philosophers. Some of them are first-class methods, and some of them are second or third-class methods. The first-class method demands that one give up all other methods and surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus be saved from all sins and their reactions. Hare Krishna. So, I'm fortunate to read this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is forming the basis of the whole of Srimad Bhagavatam, and uh, Parikshit Maharaj is on, as we all know, that in this chapter we have discussed that Parikshit Maharaj becomes a little bit disturbed in the beginning, that what he has done and how did he offend a Brahmana who was meditating, and then uh, he he was therefore thinking that he has to get this kind of uh, you know uh, curse, and then because of his um, ill-treating the Brahmanas and the cows, he had to undergo this kind of curse, and then he had taken the curse in both hands. He had welcomed this curse as a boon. So, and he was ready to accept this curse and then convert it to a boon. So actually, Prabhupada mentions in his lectures that most of the times when uh, devotees or brahmanas curse, it will be a hidden boon. It's also in many instances that Narada cursed two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvera and Manigriva. They were bathing in the heavenly waters, and then without proper clothes, and then they were enjoying, and then without proper etiquettes, they were enjoying. And when a brahmana and a devotee like Narada was passing, they were not even caring for him. And then I mean, both of them, they did not pay obeisances to or give due respect to the brahmana and devotee like Narada. And Narada cursed them because they were not ordinary people. They were the sons of Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods. He's the treasurer of the demigods, and then they are not simple living beings. So he was, I mean, Narada cursed these two sons of Kuvera, and then in that curse, it was a boon. We all know that these two sons, Nalakuvira and Manigriva, were born in the courtyard of Lord Krishna, where he was to perform a pastime and give liberation to these souls. And they became trees, huge trees. It's a lesson for all of us that human body is uh, is meant to cover. And then it's not in many Western countries, in many other countries, even in India now, this culture of this Western culture has creeped in, and then many of the youngsters take to this kind of uh, clothing, that thinking that this is the thing we have to follow. We don't need to cover. Even women, they're thinking that we want freedom. We just can wear anything, any dress we want, and then uh, they think that this is freedom. So this is a lesson for all of us that if human body is not covered properly. Prabhupada has mentioned in many lectures that the laws of nature will take its due course, and then will become trees in our next life, because we have not cared for the human form of life, and then we have taken the human form of life very lightly. And then we have it's like trees. Trees stand without clothing and without anything for hundreds of thousands of years. And Nalakuvira and Manigriva were also standing uh, in the courtyard of Krishna for thousands of years. And then Lord Krishna had to appear, because uh, in the curse of a devotee, there'll be a boon. So we should not get disturbed when devotees chastise us. When devotees chastise us, and when devotees correct us, we should not be disturbed by, because our natural tendency is to counteract. Oh, this devotee has told me like this devotee has told me like that. I am not. I mean, I should not be. You should not have behaved with me like that. But always, pure devotees of the Lord are chastising us and correcting us, so that we correct our attitudes and we correct our inclinations, and then we do proper behavior. So it is in the ultimate benefit of us that we change our behavior, and then we gradually upgrade ourselves, and then we go take our path towards the path of liberation, path of devotion. So in this verse, King Parikshit, is I mean, in this chapter, he was ready to take this curse as a boon, and then he had he had come to the bank of the Ganges, and then I mean, there were a lot of sages coming to that place, and then it was an assembly of all great souls in that place, and then there was a perfect question and perfect answers. So there is a book by Srila Prabhupada, Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. So you need to ask perfect questions to get perfect answers. So Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita is saying that Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That means we have to ask the right questions to our guru, to our spiritual master, to our seniors, to get the right answers. Because if you are not asking the right questions, you not get the right answers. So tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, or also sevaya is also included. So if you are not doing seva, that means if you are not doing service to our seniors, to our devote, I mean to the Lord, so we're not getting that knowledge, because knowledge, this knowledge, spiritual knowledge, is not is a knowledge that you can study at home, and then you can get the knowledge. You have to get the mercy of the devotee. You have to get the mercy of the seniors. You have to get the mercy of the guru. Without the mercy of the guru, you may be a most intelligent person in the world, but if you don't get the mercy, you cannot get the knowledge. Just like King Prataparudra. King Prataparudra was wanting to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the first instance, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, said, no, I'm not willing to meet any worldly person. Kings are usually, they are enjoying their life, and they have all the paraphernalia, and then they're more, I mean, involved in the worldly matters. So I'm not going to see him. But King Prataparudra was so determined to get mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So he came and then repeatedly approached Lord Chaitanya, and then he also uh, he was wanting that service from Lord Chaitanya, and he wanted that darshan. He wanted that, to serve Lord Chaitanya. So ultimately, Lord Chaitanya accepted him as a devotee, and then he was given that service, and then he was given that knowledge. So this tells us that the service is very important, and then our submissive character, the humility, is very important. In this chapter, King Parikshit is also showing that how humble, I mean, humility is also a character we should all imbibe. That without humility, nothing can be got. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, the 30th chapter, verse number 8 to 13, Krishna gives a list of things which are knowledge, and then what is not knowledge. So he goes on to say, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharya pasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atmanigraham. So he gives a list of items that are knowledge. And then he says that apart from this, I declare Arjuna, this whatever is not listed here is not knowledge. So we can even go to that verse in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It's a nice uh, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 13. Verse 8 to 12. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharya pasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atmanigraham, indriyarteshu vairagyam, anahankara evacha, janma mrityu jadavyadi dukka doshanu darshanam, asakti ranabhiswangat putra dara grihadishu, nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishta upapattishu, मयि च अनन्य योगेन भक्तिर अव्यभिचारिणी विविक्त देश सेवित्वम अरतिर जन संसिद्धि आध्यात्म ज्ञान नित्यत्वम तत्व ज्ञानार्थ दर्शनम एतज् ज्ञानम इति प्रोक्तम अज्ञान यत् अतोन्यथा. So translation: humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment from freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides these, whatever there may be is ignorance. So Krishna has, this is a verse also to we can all by heart this verse, and then it's a it's a nice flow of the different things Krishna gives as knowledge, and then other than this, it's ignorance. So humility is the beginning of the knowledge. So Prabhupada also says in his lectures that without humility you can't do anything. And also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtakam has said, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishtuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. In the second verse of the Shikshashtakam, Trinadapi Sunichena. So we have to become more humbler than a blade of grass. So you can imagine grass. Many people are walking on the grass every day. It's not saying that I will react. Meaning more tolerant than a tree. So tree is such an example that if a human being goes and cuts its branches and then takes the fruits and takes the leaves, it does so many things to the tree, but still the tree gives the shade equally to the man who mistreats the tree, or to the person who treats it well. Both the person, it gives equally the fruits of whatever the person is looking for. So Karori was Saishnana. So we should be more tolerant than the tree, and then we should be more humbler than a blade of grass. So if you do that, amanina manadena, that means giving all respect to all the others, and then manadena, that means not expect any kind of respect to oneself. Amanina manadena, that means if you do this, then you can be eligible for Kirtaniya Sadahari. So this is the example that we have to be more humbler than a blade of grass, and then more tolerant than a tree. So then giving respect to others, and then not expecting any respect to oneself, so we can get the chance to chant the holy name of the Lord incessantly. So holy name of the Lord can give us anything and everything. Akama sarvakamasya moksha kama udarate. That means holy name and Krishna are non-different. They are the same. Holy name in this Kali Yuga, it is said that Harir Nama eva kevalam kalo nasteva gatiranyata. That means holy name is the only way to attain perfection in spirituality. So in other yugas, in the Satya Yuga, they used to stand on one leg, and then they used to meditate on the self, and then meditate on the super soul, and then they used to get perfection. And then in the Treta Yuga there was a different process, and in the Dwapara Yuga there was a different process. So, but in this Kali Yuga, all the processes are banished, and then all the processes are rejected, because we are not living for a long time. So this coming to this question by Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is asking a question. Prabhupada is telling that these are basically two questions. The first question is, what is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? That means what is the duty of a human being? So human being is not human being, the birth of human being is not simple birth, just not like cats and dogs. Cats and dogs and human beings have the same needs, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But if we take this eating, sleeping, and mating, defending seriously, and then we dedicate our human form of life only to these four aspects, so that means there is no difference between us and then all the animals. So it is just we are on the platform of Prabhupada gives an example. You go in your, he was commenting, you go in four wheels, and then the animals go in four legs. So what is the difference between you and animals? So it is just it's just four wheels and four legs. So it is a question of different means of transport. So you are also looking for eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and they are also looking for these four things. So there's no difference between you and animals. This is uh, glorified, highlighted animalism. Animalism. We are practicing animalism in a glorified way. Maybe we are living in a high raised apartment. We are living in a posh apartment, but the basic things what we're doing, it is the same. What animals is getting, Prabhupada also told once, that don't think that you are getting more enjoyment than the animals are getting the same enjoyment by sleeping, mating, eating, defending. So the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj was, what what is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? So all circumstances means that when a human being is born, he has to understand what is the most important thing for a human being to do. So Prahlad Maharaj also mentions in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Kaumarat Acharet Pragna Dharman Bhagavata Iha. That means he told his classmates that you should not waste human form of life. Kaumarat Acharet Pragna. That means in the young age itself, in the child age itself, Prahlad Maharaj was not more than 5 years. Dhruv Maharaj was not more than 5 years. So at that age itself, one should take to Krishna consciousness. So it should not wait for, okay. People say when we go to preach, when we give Bhagavad Gita, many mostly Indians will say, oh no, we have at home. Do you read Bhagavad Gita? No, no, no. To read Bhagavad Gita, we still have time. We are not old enough. We are, after 60, after retirement, we'll see. We'll see whether, but who knows? A dying man is said, what is old age? Old age is nothing but we are near to death. So that means we are near to death every day. Every day we are old. So we should not wait for the old age to start reading Bhagavad Gita, start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, or chanting the holy name of the Lord. Any time it is a dying time. So we should take up this Krishna consciousness very seriously, that we are going to die any moment. Like Parikshit Maharaj was fortunate enough to get this curse and then get 7 days time to die. But we don't have that 7 days time to die. We might die in 7 minutes, or we may die in 7 years or 7 months. So the second question was, what is the specific duty of one who is to die very shortly? So Prabhupada goes on to say, out of these two, the question relating to the dying man is the most important, because everyone is a dying man. So very shortly or after 100 years, the duration of life is immaterial, but the duty of the dying man is very important. Maharaja Parikshit placed these two questions before Shukadeva Goswami also on his arrival. And practically the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning from the second canto up to the last, the 12th canto, deals with these two questions. The conclusion arrived at thereof is that the devotional service of the Lord, Sri Krishna. So, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksheshwami Mashucha. So that means Krishna also in the Bhagavad Gita states this verse that you abandon all forms of religion and surrender unto me. Do not worry and do not have a doubt that I will not protect you. All the sins will be removed. So we should not have a doubt that oh, if I take to this Krishna consciousness, whether I'll be successful or not successful, whether there'll be success or not success, but there'll be definitely a success. There'll be definitely a victory. There'll be definitely one way, because whatever done in this Krishna consciousness, it is never lost, because whatever we do in terms of material achievements, it is lost when we die. Uh, when we die, it will be taken away. Atul Krishna Prabhu, when he came to Nakuru, he gave a very nice example that it's actually a story that one woman, there was a family, and then her husband was dying, and then her husband told that, uh, you know, you should promise that, you should give all the money to me when I'm going. So she said, okay, I promise that I will give you all the money when you're going. So then the husband died, and then the wife, she was consulting her friend. And then her friend told, no, are you crazy? No, your husband is dead, and you want to give money to him. Is no more available there here, and then you can enjoy this money. No. She said, no, I will give that money to him. So ultimately, everybody was interesting. So she's very foolish that she wants to give that money. How a dying man can take the money with him in the grave? So what she did, she wrote a check in the husband name, and then kept the check in the coffin, and then give that money to him. So that is what we all can take the check, if we can encash that in the next life. So this is a very nice example he gave, that how important that money. What I mean, we are all working for that money. We are all working for pleasure that we cannot take into our next life. So like that, we should understand the importance of the human form of life. And Maharaja Parikshit has placed this very nice question, that what is that most important thing that somebody has to do at the time of death? So at the time of death, if you do not practice the whole of your life, that how we have to leave this world. So we cannot, at the end of life, suddenly change. Like an example, if we want to study for an examination, maybe a very big examination, we cannot say that I will do whatever I want the whole year, and at the last moment I will study one day before, and then I'll read the examination. I'll just pass out with the high ranks. It's not possible. Death is the very difficult examination, and then all of us have to face that examination, and that examination can come at any time, and then any moment. And at that time, it is very painful. It is described in the Shastras that the death is not a simple thing. It will be Yamadutas will come, and then they will drag our soul, and they'll drag our subtle body out of the gross body, and the pain is described to be very painful exercise. And then we'll be emotionally, will be in all ways will be painful. But there is a very nice verse. Prabhupada always quotes this verse from Kulshekar Alvar's Mukundamala Stotra. He says like this: Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaja Panjarantam Adyeva Me Vishita Manasa Rajahamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Kafavata Pitto Kantavaro Danavido Smaranam Kutaste. That means Kulshekar Alvas is facing this plea at the lotus feet of Krishna. He's saying that, please make my mind, remember your lotus feet now at this moment, because I don't know at the time of death, this kapha, vata, pitta. That means this tridhatu. We are made of this tridhatu. According to Ayurveda, we are made of these three things: kapha, vata, and pitta. So if you go to an Ayurvedic doctor, actually whatever disease symptoms are there are because of these three things: kapha, vata, pitta. That means bile, acid, and air. So these three things, if they are in an imbalance, you'll get a disease. So Kulshekar Alvar is saying, prana prayana samaye kafavata pitto Ghanta varodana vido sparanam kutaste. That means at the time of death, the throat will be choked. The throat will be choked with the kapha vata pitta. And then how can one remember at that time, so much pain will be there. How can one remember Krishna? How can remember Narayana at that time? So Kulshekar Alvar is placing that plea to Krishna, that please place my mind in the thought of your lotus feet. So at the time of death, I don't have to worry about kapha, vata, pitta, choking my throat, and then causing so much trouble to me, and then I don't know if I can remember you or not. So this is the beautiful thing that we have got, that Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, especially the chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this wonderful thing has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada, by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that this the most difficult thing, liberation itself is the most difficult thing. To get liberation from human form of life is very, very, very difficult. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so magnanimous that he has given the best medicine. Rupa Goswami says, Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratrishe Namaha. That means Krishna, Rupa Goswami has said, Namo Mahavadanyaya. That means you are not, you are most magnanimous. You are not magnanimous, and then you are given this Krishna Prema. So you are not given that, just liberation. It is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is what most of the spiritual seekers are seeking. That means, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That means liberation, economic development, and then religiosity and sense gratification. These are the most common four things that all the spiritual seekers are seeking. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami is saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving Krishna Prema Pradayate. That means is giving Krishna Prema, which is the most highest form of spiritual achievement. So that is available to us because of the mercy of the Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, and Lord Chaitanya in this Kali Yuga, and it is freely available. And it is not, when you go to an ISKCON center, they'll not charge you for chanting. They'll not charge you for coming to the ISKCON center. They'll not, in fact, prasadam will be given free of cost, and they'll also there'll be book distribution. If some people cannot afford, there'll be books given free of cost, and you can sit and read in the center, and you can get the best benefit, and then the most valuable jewel of Krishna Prema can be achieved in this very life, and then we can go back to back to Godhead, back home, back to Godhead in this very life. But only thing is, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Durdaivam, Nam Akari Bahuda, Nija Sarva Shakti. That means Krishna has invested all the potency in the names. But the most unfortunate thing is we don't have the taste. We don't have the taste to chant the holy name of the Lord. We don't have the taste to go to the temple. So this is the Durdaivam. But there is a hope that we have, when we take to this Krishna conscious process, and then when we go step by step, there is definitely hope, and then there is definitely light at the end of the dark tunnel. What we are living in, there's a dark tunnel. This material world is a dark place, and then without sun, if there is no sun in one day, we'll all be in dark place. Yeah, and then when there is when sun comes, all darkness vanishes. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Andakar, Jaha Krishna Hoy, Taha Mayar Nai Adhikar. That means where there is sun, there is no chance of darkness. Where there is Krishna, there is no chance of ignorance. There is no chance of Maya to act. So, but the only thing is how we dovetail our lives in such a way that we always align our lives in the line of Krishna consciousness, and plan our day, plan our day in such a way that we involve ourselves in Krishna thoughts, Krishna consciousness. And as Rukma Prabhu was mentioning, the four most important thing, man mana bhava mad bhakto majjaji mam namaskuru. So that means you think of me, you pay obeisances to me, you become my devotee. So these are the things Krishna is asking us. He's not asking us to, give up everything and go to the forest and then, meditate. So being in the house, being in the society, doing our work. So we have to bring in Krishna. So we have to bring in Krishna to the center of our life, and then all success is guaranteed. So I think I'll stop here, Mataji, and we'll take questions, comments, and any mistakes I've done. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for reminding us to bring Krishna to the center of our life. That is the only goal we have. I open this up for any questions or comments. Are there any questions or comments? I think we are going to be entering into a very exciting part tomorrow, when this chapter is called The Appearance of Sukhdev Goswami, and we are now even in text 24, and he has not appeared, so he should appear tomorrow. So I think it is a prelude to what is going to happen tomorrow. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for reminding us the duty of the human being, and more specific to the duty of a man who's about to die, and we are about to die anytime. So thank you for today's session, and quoting so many other shlokas from from Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll hand over to Path Prabhu. Prabhuji, are you able to switch on? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your nice class. Really, the same thing I'm supposed to telling. The most important thing, like you talk, what is the specific duty for every human being? Like a human form of life is so precious, and also what is this most important duty to who to die? This is very important things you are talk, and you describe many things, also giving many quotes. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your nice explanation. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, thanks all devotees who are joining here. Please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for glorification of His grace. Arya Govinda Prabhuji, please join. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Vansha kalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhu eva cha patitanam
Pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Grace Arya Govind Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very
Gaura
much.
Bhaktarvrinda ki